I watched yesterday a Minecraft movie, and I won't get into why, 'cause it's just a lot of stuff going on. But all I'll say is, movie not aimed at me, not made for me at all. Is it a good movie? I wouldn't say it's a good movie. I'd say it's a solid 5 out of 10. Definition of mid. There's some parts that are kind of funny, actually. That's all the kids. Okay.
A lot of kids on Letterboxd, huh?
Yeah. Like you can see where the actual like hump is there. It's right in the middle, which is where I put it. There's some really stupid stuff, and here's the thing that I'll say. My friends are slightly younger than me, and they are way more into like the brain rot type of humor. I don't know if you know what that exactly means, but they had a great time at this movie because it is a lot of brain rot stuff. I didn't find a lot of it funny. They had a lot of references to Minecraft stuff and like memes online and stuff, and those didn't really get me. One positive I will say about the movie, Jason Momoa, not nearly as bad as it seemed like he was going to be from the trailers. So what it looked like is, he's got the long hair, the pink jacket. Is he playing some sort of girly character or something? No, he's not actually. He's playing like hey, I was a gamer champion from '89 and now I'm kind of washed out type of thing, which is why he has like the long hair, and the jacket had to do with the game that he was playing. It was like a beat 'em up. And he's more like, I mean, and this is what I like is one of my friends who watched the movie thought he was going to be The Rock, Dwayne Johnson type of deal, where it's like, he's just the cool guy the entire time and he can never do anything bad. No, he's kind of a little bit of a loser in the movie.
Is he the Block?
Yeah. They do have a funny, one of the few funny jokes in that movie is because it's in Minecraft, they have a cube thing and he's like, this is the orb of power. You mean the cube of power? Well, no, it just looks like a cube. Like that joke was kind of funny a little bit in the movie. The way they did it, I probably made it not funny there. I mean, Jack Black was Jack Black. I thought the rest of the cast was there, not really interesting or not. Like, it was a very mid movie. Some very funny stuff. Some off the cuff kind of weird stuff. Like all I'll say is there's a part of the movie that I just think should have been straight up cut, like where a villager makes his way out into the real world. And there's some weird stuff that they do with that. And I'll tell you once we're done recording, so I don't spoil it for the kids or whatever. But it is certainly a choice that they do with the movie with Jennifer Coolidge. Let's just say that.
One thing I know about this movie is Regal has a pink popcorn bucket shaped like this sheep. So anyone out there who wants a pink square sheep for popcorn,
they got pink sheep in the game or in the movie. That's for sure a thing. I don't know. The movie was all over the place. Editing was kind of weird, but I'll give it this because me and my friend were talking about it. I didn't sigh out loud until the very, very end, which I can't say the same for Star Wars 9, which we joke about all the time, where I was in the middle of the movie. And I actually made the joke. I was like, as soon as Steve takes his diamond sword and throws it into the water and rejects who he is as a person, then I'm going to audibly sigh, because that's what I did when I watched Star Wars Episode 9. That's where I gave up on everything.
I thought you were referencing something from Minecraft. But okay, no, I'm with you.
Well, we were joking that if Jack Black does that like he did in Star Wars.
In Star Wars, yeah.
They don't do it's a better movie than Star Wars Episode 9, okay? I can give it that.
Low bar.
But I mean, if you have kids who are super into like that type of humor and grew up in that thing, they'll probably love the movie. I just was like, hey, when it comes to like video game movies, you can either do things like this where it's like only really that one age demographic is really going to get it and like it. But then you could do something like the Super Mario movie where it's like, sure, it was aimed at kids, I could tell, but I still enjoyed it quite a bit. Both starring Jack Black. So that's why I say it's mid. I liked the Mario movie. It was
Parents
just a good movie on top of it. It being aimed at kids. This one's super aimed at kids. Yeah. Parts of it are aimed at kids. That's why I'm confused for other parts, because they do some weird like 18 plus type stuff in this movie.
For the parents. That's probably why they throw them. Okay, I watched 2 stupid ass horror movies this week, and then I'm going to talk about 2 other movies. This will be quick. This movie came out in 2000. I believe Scream 2? Scream 3 was 2000. I'm almost positive. There you go. So it came out the same year as Scream 3. And the idea behind this one, it's a slasher. The serial killer is only targeting virgins rather than the typical trope of killing the. Typically in movies, the horror movie trope, just ask Jamie Kennedy's character in Scream 1. If you get laid, you die. But in this, if you're a virgin, you die. There's this whole bullying backstory where the killer is getting revenge, this kind of thing. It is a stupid movie. I get that they're leaning into the trope. This is what Scream did. Scream created a genre, and these movies tried to kind of innovate on them and failed miserably, because this movie is real bad. Brittany Murphy, I remember growing up, I thought she was a good actress. She is not, at least in this movie. I don't remember seeing her in anything else, but like just from memory strictly.
She's in Sin City.
But she is, she's the hooker that gets slapped around by the guy that Clive kills. Spoilers for Sin City. I've seen it about 100 times. Don't Say a Word's pretty good. I have a funny story about Don't Say a Word really quick.
Yeah.
I was a kid. I was about 12 years old. We used to go to the movies, me and my younger brother, all the time with my dad. And we would go to movies 2 to 3 times a week. It was kind of our time to spend with my dad. And legitimately every Tuesday and Friday we'd go to a movie. And I went out to the bathroom, and it's at the same mall we still go to. Picture going out, they had the rope cut off right by the opening before the bathroom. And I had seen so many movies in the past 2 months that I couldn't remember what movie we saw. So the guy was blocking me from going in. I'm like, I just passed you. And I was a kid. Like, I just passed you to go to the bathroom. Oh, I didn't see you. What's the name of the movie? Like, I don't remember. So that's how many movies we were seeing. So that's why
I just saw, though. She passed away in 2007.
Yeah, she was very young.
32.
So, but she was brutally bad in this movie. And the movie was trying to innovate on something, and it was a hard watch. Jay Moore was all right in it, but it's just, I don't know. I would not recommend this to anyone. I found this movie, I was reading through a website that said underrated slasher movies that deserve a cult following. I'm gonna hard disagree on this one. This one is a rough watch. An even rougher watch, this movie I did see as a kid.
Fear.com. I've heard a lot about this movie, never watched it.
Why? Who would tell you about this movie?
There's probably bad stuff about it.
Oh my God. This movie is about a guy who opens a website and tortures people, but has figured out a way to, when they watch the video, curse them with some sort of ring type, like the movie The Ring type ghost situation where they die based on their worst fears. This one's 1.8 out of 5 on here. It is.
That's generous.
That's about right. The main guy is pretty decent, but the movie itself is rough, and it's on the dawn days of like really trying to use the internet for stuff, and it's really bad. The special effects are terrible.
Stephen Dorff. Familiar. That's Stephen Dorff.
What's he in?
I recognize his name. I think he was in Blade. Yeah. Okay. Yep. Blade. Zoolander. That's the other one as well. Mortals. Man.
This lady, Natasha McElhaney, she is from Californication TV series. Now, let me move on. I can't talk about that.
Well, quickly before you go on this, because you reminded me of something, and then I just forgot it. So never mind. Keep going. I was like, I'm gonna say something before you go to the next movie.
Yeah.
And then I forgot. So.
All right. Well, if you
we'll keep going on.
Figure it out, then we'll throw it in here.
Yeah.
My favorite actress of all time, Jenna Ortega, is in this movie. She is untouchable. She is the best. The only one that even comes close is Meryl Streep. Jenna Ortega, and then Meryl Streep. Great. Don't even hate. If you got a problem with Jenna Ortega, you got a problem with yourself. Right?
It's a little sad because she actually is kind of like decent in some stuff, but she's just throwing in your face too much.
All right. This movie, on the other hand, if you've seen this trailer, you've seen the movie. I'll keep it light. This movie's brand new. But father and daughter accidentally hit and kill a unicorn en route to a weekend retreat, where his billionaire boss seeks to exploit the creature's miraculous curative properties. The movie is exactly what you think it is based on the trailer. They accidentally run over a small unicorn. The big unicorn comes after him. This guy, the smug guy with the black t-shirt, he's annoying and obnoxious. The woman's obnoxious.
That's
it's
sad.
just...
I like Will Poulter as an actor.
No, but his character is meant to be, because he's
Sorry,
like
I thought you were saying
rich...
he was just obnoxious.
No, he's like a rich douchebag kid.
Okay.
Who's trying to inherit his dad's company.
Is Richard E. Grant like the billionaire guy? He was from the
Yes.
lesson. Okay, I like him a lot as an actor. How's he in the movie?
He's good. His character, I'll just tell you, the first couple minutes, his character is sick and dying. And obviously, if he's exploring the curative properties,
Yeah.
he's trying to use it to get rich or get richer.
See, the Anthony Carrigans. I think he was in Logan.
He's in frickin' Ted. What's that? What's the show with oh my god. What's the TV show with him? Barry. That's the name
Barry.
of it.
Oh, he's in Barry. Okay.
Yeah. He's the weird Russian guy. The movie, 3 out of 5 per Letterboxd, very fair. And when I say, if you've seen the trailer, you've seen the movie, that's not a bad thing. It's solid. Some of the effects are a little goofy. It's
even
kinda,
the poster there looks kind of like the effects kind of look.
Yeah. They lean into some of the absurdity of it intentionally, and it's a good watch. I'm not hating on it, and
I'll have to watch it then.
yeah, it's good enough to justify going to see at the theaters, I would say. Okay, saving the best for last. Letterboxd, you better wake the hell up, because this 2.5 is out of control. 567 5-star ratings, 555 half-star ratings. People giving this a half-star. I
Don't
can't
like action movies.
But like, why would you see it? Why would you watch it in the first
because
place?
they're critics. They have to watch every single movie that comes out, even if they know they're going to hate it.
Jason Statham is still my... Okay, let me real quick. I want to see if I can see any
Real
5-star, or I mean any
real half-star review.
half-star rating.
I think if you click on the half-star...
Where?
I was going to say...
Oh, there we go. Mine... Oh, that's in German. David Ayer's working man abandons all the big swings and humor of The Beekeeper in favor of dour and humorless borderline QAnon garbage. QAnon? What's QAnon?
It's some sort of like Reddit thing. Like where it's like their conspiracy type stuff. Like that's why I don't know what that means.
As Stallone has a writing credit and is immersed up to his snarl and MAGA world these days.
Yeah, so it's right wing conspiracy theory stuff is what.
So
QAnon
this person, yeah, okay. This person has severe problems, because if all you can say about the movie is that there's nothing about this movie that's conspiracy theory.
Yeah, I don't know.
Embarrassingly adolescent was wet dream brain rot, thinly veiled and tired American propaganda. Should have been okay. So this is people who didn't see the movie. I fell asleep in the cinema. There is zero chance in this world you fell asleep during this movie. Why
Unless
does it?
Unless it was like me that one time where I watched when I watched The Monkey, where it was like, hey, I'm on 1 hour of sleep, and even though I'm enjoying the movie, I just can't stay awake. That's the only reason you'd fall asleep.
Waste product of a diseased culture, sociological value, and not much of. I'm just trying to think of.
Wait, you're looking for reviews that will actually make sense in the half-star rating?
Yeah.
You're not going to find any.
When I make a half-star movie, I give a reason.
Yeah. But you're not going to find any good reasons here. That's all I'll say.
So all of these people, this guy spent a lot of time with this. I'm just very curious. Favorite film. So that's pretty solid. But I was expecting his favorite films to be
wait,
like.
he gave Woman in the Yard 2 stars and gave The Working Man a half star.
This is the type of shit that just.
My friend saw The Woman in the Yard and said it was one of the worst things he ever seen.
Real quick, this movie is a Jason Statham movie.
Yeah.
But it's a Jason Statham movie that does everything better than the typical Jason Statham movie. It has elements of Taken, it has elements of John Wick, and it has elements of Star Wars. Why Star Wars? Because none of the enemies can hit a damn shot. Nobody can land a shot.
Same thing. Oh my gosh, it was. You just reminded me of something. Minecraft movie when the skeletons are shooting, they're all missing with their arrows. I was like, yeah, bro, wishes that's what they shot like in the Minecraft. In Minecraft, you'll be like dipping and dodging, they'll hit you perfectly on target every single time. It's so annoying. You have to have like a shield or something up, and it's like they're just missing all their shots in the movie. Not realistic at all. Get to the game.
Yeah. I'm stuck on the QAnon and the propaganda thing, because I think when you have when people are mentally sick and you have like a white guy being the hero these days, these people, they can't handle it.
Yeah, it's just like I was saying earlier with oh, your game has 2 women in it, must be DEI. It's like, no,
these people are sick in the head and gotta get out.
It's like white male is the lead. Oh, must be right wing.
Yeah. Yeah, and he doesn't play any like that cucky BS stuff. So his boss's daughter, who he's close with, gets human trafficked, and he goes to. Is that the propaganda? Human traffickers? Because remember that movie last year?
It's
what
usually
was
like
that movie?
Deep state type stuff is what they say when they do QAnon, where it's just like, well, actually, the deep state is in control of this thing, and it's really the government that's behind all these things that are going on. That's QAnon stuff, where it's like the government behind everything, or there's some sort of like conspiracy going on in the government that's hiding this or that. That's what QAnon usually is. At least, maybe I'm completely wrong, but that's what I think of when I see QAnons.
This is what happened last year with this movie. This guy goes into I can't remember which part of the world, but he tries to stop a sex trafficking ring based on a true story, and people were
upset,
brutalizing it. Yeah, because how dare he, white savior. So that's what
white
it is.
Savior.
Yeah. Anyways, to the normal people out there, which is our audience, this movie is an action, like balls to the wall. I could not believe how quick this movie went. And if you like John Wick, why is it John Wick? Because he's just going in and he's just jacking people up, Jason Statham style. And he doesn't hold back. John Wick kills a lot of people. So does Jason Statham. And Taken, because it's the boss's daughter.
Yeah, it's just very like just seems very Jason Statham-esque. Like I think even like, was it 2005, The Transporter or something? Jason Statham's been doing this for like 20 years. It's his
Did you
shit.
say or something? Have you never seen The Transporter?
No, I do. Like I can't remember what year it came out. I watched Transporter 1, 2, and 3.
Was the year. Okay.
Yeah, sorry, that's what I meant. Okay. The 2005 or something. No, I've watched the 3 movies that he was in, 1, 2, and 3.
The other one was all right. It wasn't as good.
Yeah, he wasn't in it, right?
Refueled? Yeah, it was someone else.
I never watched it because I was like, it doesn't have Jason Statham in it.
Yeah.
But I did like the first 3. Yeah.
This was better than The Beekeeper. It was better than a lot of the movies he's done. And it was so enjoyable. I couldn't believe how fast the movie went.
Is it better than Hobbs and Shaw?
I've never seen that.
That's the Fast and Furious.
With Dwayne? Yeah. I haven't seen that one, but yeah, it is fantastic.
How's David Harbour in it?
He's in it briefly.
Only briefly? Okay.
He plays a confidant of Jason Statham. I highly recommend this movie. And if you're in the mood for an action movie, you can't go wrong because it is. Is
he like the man in the chair that's in all these movies? Like in Novocaine, it was the guy from Spider-Man. Is it he's like that kind of character where it's like he talks to him a bunch and then he just shows up? Okay.
No.
To say that seems to be like the trope in those movies now. It's like there's the guy I talked to on the radio and then
this is
he
more
comes
of when you need like a break in the action, he goes and visits him for some advice and stuff.
Okay.
There's one problem I had with the movie. The main girl, she tends to be a little less traumatized than you'd think somebody who was being human trafficked would be. which if you think about the girl from Taken, she's like devastated. Like
yeah,
she's
Maggie Grace.
in Taken 2, she's weird for the first half of that movie because of what she'd already gone through.
Yeah.
But that's my only real issue with it. This is the second best movie of 2025 so far, behind The Last Breath. Or was it just Last Breath? The Last Breath? Last Breath?
I think it was just called Last Breath.
If you want an action movie, you can't go wrong. You know me, I'm like, Jason Statham movie, 3 out of 5, typically. This movie is as good as you can get for an action movie.
All right.
I didn't know what you wanted up here for this.
I mean, that's it. So Fables.
But like,
I mean, you could just pop up like the first comic and then it's like Fables 1 or something. It's fine. So I had a lot of stuff going on this week, as we kind of mentioned a little bit. So I didn't get a time to read as much as I would have liked, but I was able to read through the first arc of Fables, which is like the first 5 or 6 issues, something like that. Which, let me tell you, I thought like, oh, I'm going to be able to make way more progress than I did. I forgot how time consuming these can be sometimes. It took me like for 5 or 6 issues, it was like an hour. I was like, geez. Maybe they're just longer issues as well.
But like, I think we're so used to manga these days.
Yeah.
And those just fly by.
Yeah. But it was, and yeah. But it was one of those things where I couldn't really remember much about the plot. And then as I'm reading it, I'm remembering everything. So 1 through 5, Legends in Exile. Yep. And I gotta say, it's pretty good. It's the first arc there is a murder mystery type thing. It's kind of fun. I remember it being quite clever when I first read it. Now, you have to also remember, like, when this comic first came out was a long time ago. Like, if you want to scroll back up, let me just see when it first released. 2002. Yeah. So
nice.
it's an older one.
The glory days of comic books.
So you might be like, oh, I've seen this murder mystery trope before. I don't think it was as well known or something at that time, and it was still kind of very well done in the way they did it, and the way that everything kind of resolves. And I think the important thing with this is it made me want to replay The Wolf Among Us, just because the characters are just so interesting and well written, and their relationships with each other are super interesting. The world's pretty good. But yeah, I'll be reading more. I guess it's kind of old, so I don't mind spoiling stuff too much. Like, I'm probably not going to spoil it, like spoil full on type stuff. But yeah, no, it's Big B Wolf. You know, he's a play on the. I guess I should have explained what Fables is. Fables is kind of like, hey, all these fairy tale stories that you've heard, what if they were all real? Very similar to Once Upon a Time, except this was obviously way before that. But then, like, the homelands, as they call it, their fairy tale worlds are conquered, and they escape to New York City to live there. That way, they don't get, overtaken. Because for some reason, the big villain, whose name is the Adversary, isn't going to the real world. So,
cool.
It's pretty fun. It's this kind of idea of that, like, hey, we don't want to be here because, as they call them, they call like the humans mundies, the mundanes, stuff like that. It's like, hey, we don't want to be here, but we have to because this is the only place that we can survive. And the cool thing with them as well is they're immortal, essentially. Like, I mean, they can die if they're killed, but they don't die of age. They don't age at all.
Right.
That's why, like, but yeah, you have Big B Wolf, who's the big bad wolf. Snow White, who is the kind of like the mayor. Or like the deputy mayor of the city. It's very fun, very good. Big B Wolf is a very fun character.
Versus Big B Wolf.
Yeah,
interesting. Yeah, it sounds cool. Maybe I'll give it a try.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, even if you don't want to read it, because the game is a prequel as well. So, I would actually recommend playing the game first because I played the game before reading it, and there's some things that they'll try to surprise you with in the game that if you've read it before, you'll be like, well, I know that this can't be a thing because I know they have to end up here in the comics. Not having that does make it way more interesting. Because I'll just say the first episode of that game ends with a bombshell that's just like, what the heck?
Awesome.
I can't believe they're doing this kind of stuff in a video game. But it's pretty good. I'm sure you can get the entire Wolf Among Us series for like $20, $30. It's very solid. I cannot recommend enough. I'm tempted to play through it again. It's that good.
A couple more things. We talked about Magic the Gathering. But
Yeah. Okay. So you can see how long this video is here. 2 hours,
I
2
love
minutes.
these when it's a 4.8K and they get 34K views.
Yeah, I think when he made this video, he was only like at 1K or something, but the video's been kind of
Nice.
blowing up. I discovered it because there's a YouTuber that I think I've shown you a little bit, Maximilian Dude, where he talks
Yep.
about Final Fantasy. And this guy was actually saying like, hey, I would love it for people to react to this video. So he watched the full thing on stream. And I gotta say, like, if you are a fan of Final Fantasy at all, especially this remake trilogy, it's 2 hours. I cannot recommend watching this enough because it does kind of take all the crafting, the theory crafting, and the ideas of what was happening, all these things that we've talked about a little bit on this, podcast here about it, and kind of condense it into one thing. And yes, you might say, oh, it's 2 hours though. That's how much there's going on with what's happening and all the behind the scenes stuff. There's some pretty cool things that he talks about here where it's like, you can tell like, oh, they've been working on some of this stuff since Advent Children came out in the 90s.
Nice.
They've been wanting to plan some of the stuff that they've been doing. Because they go into like the behind the scenes things with Nojima, I think. I don't know why his name just left, but the guy who directed the original did the character design, who worked on the Kingdom Hearts games. I don't know why my brain is forgetting his name right now. But it's just really
You're saying the director of the original Final Fantasy?
not the director, he was the character designer, but he directed Advent Children was the thing. It's Nomura, that's his name. Something Nomura. Yeah, Tetsuya Nomura. Yeah. So he did the character design for the original FF7, and he wrote Advent Children. He was saying like, hey, there's these things we want to do with the characters because you're kind of left with at the end of the first game, or the original game, like it's kind of a little bit of a downer ending.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some things that happen, and we've always wanted to give these characters a little bit more of a hopeful ending.
Right.
And I think something really cool that he talks about is first off, like how, and I felt the very same way, when you first beat the game, you're left kind of a little disappointed because it's like you feel like something was taken from you, and it felt like this game was building up to something. Like the entire tagline of the game was, like, can fate be changed and everything. And they spend the entirety of the game saying, yes, fate can be changed. And then it seems like the game just ignores that, like saying, it just kind of pretends that nothing can be.
Mm-hmm.
And he's kind of like, well, actually, if you look at it from this perspective, this is how it does fit in with the theme. And it really goes into that. And he talks about like the ending and what they're actually trying to do with the ending. And something really cool that he does is he goes into The Empire Strikes Back and says, hey, look at people who reviewed The Empire Strikes Back when it first came out, especially critics. They all thought the ending was terrible.
Right.
And it's only after, and he said like a very important thing was all the fans loved the ending. Like they said like the ending was fine. They either loved it or said it was fine.
Yeah.
But the important thing was after the third movie came out, it's like, okay, we have the bigger picture now. And now people consider The Empire Strikes Back and that twist in the ending to be one of the best things in cinema ever. That's why another thing he kind of mentions in this video is just that I'm pretty sure with hindsight, after the third part comes out, the end of this game will be appreciated way more. And like I said, I can't recommend watching this video enough. I get it's 2 hours, but if you got 2 hours and kind of what I did, where I was just grinding on a different game while I watched and listened to this, it's more than well worth it.
Is there anything
very good.
visually you need to watch, or can you just listen?
I mean, you don't. There's only one thing, like a couple parts that are gonna be difficult, which I had an issue with because I was doing the demo for the last Berserker: The Last Kazan. Actually, I completely forgot to mention where I had to like pause the video because you can't pause Berserker at all, as in the final fight there, because they do some. He plays some interviews from Nomura and some other people, and they're speaking in Japanese, so you have to read the subtitles. That's about it, though. That's the only part where you actually have to like probably watch it.
Nice.
It's just a couple of them, but yeah.
Oh yeah, we're pretty much done here.
Yeah, and I guess I'll just say, yeah, I played Berserker: The Last Kazan.
Nice.
Pretty fun. Pretty fun demo. I got really frustrated in that final boss because I probably died it like 50 times. I don't even know if it's the final boss. I had to stop playing at some point. I felt like the final boss is the guy in like that Dark Realm area where he like punches you a bunch.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it's fun.
Yeah. Very
It's
fun.
like it's more Sekiro than
Is this a thing in the actual game? Because it would make me mad. When you die to a boss, do they give you just like free points to upgrade?
yeah.
Okay, that's kind of frustrating because I don't want you giving me pity upgrades for
Right.
losing to a boss. I didn't like that because it's like I just want to keep going, so I refused to use the upgrades when they would give them to me.
Right.
Because I was just like, I want to fight this boss at this level. I can do it.
Yeah.
And it was very annoying that they were giving me like free points. And I was like, please say this is just for the demo. But I guess that is a little sad to hear. But I mean, it's not bad either.
Visually the game looks so good. It's so like just it's unique and it just looks so beautiful. All right. So for next week, I am actually going Saturday. This movie, there's another preview, like another special event. The movie doesn't come out until next week. However, tomorrow at 6 p.m., there's a screening for us. So I'm going to go to that and watch this movie called The Amateur. Man's wife is killed. Rami Malek, everyone knows him. And the thing that I know him the most from is Until Dawn, surprisingly.
Yeah.
But he plays a character who's just like a desk nerd who wants to avenge the death of his wife. And Lawrence Fishburne's in it. The movie looks like a lot of fun. John Bernthal is in it, the Punisher. And yeah, it looks like so much fun. So I'll be talking about that next week. Then I have AEW Dynasty on Monday.
Yeah, I'll be reading more Fables. I'll be probably seeing Death of Unicorn. Got a lot going on. But hopefully, especially come the summer, a little bit more free time to experience more of this stuff going on.
We should have some more cool stuff coming too. So
Yep.
All right, that'll do it for us. Thanks for watching. Check out the stream, the live replay if you missed anything on youtube.com/@mediamen, and we will catch you guys later.
Peace.